Hi everyone. In this video, we'll be looking into a game between Grandmaster Liem and Grandmaster Magnus Carlsen from the round 8 of FIDE Chess Olympiad 2024 between Vietnam and Norway. Let's jump right into the game. Liem starting with the white pieces go for 1 d4. Carlsen replies with knight to f6, c4, e6, knight to f3, d5, knight to c3, c6, bishop to g5, knight on b to d7, e3, h6, bishop to h4, bishop to e7, rook to c1. Carlsen goes for castling, a3, a6, c takes on d5, e takes on d5, queen to c2, knight to e8, bishop to g3, bishop to d6, bishop to d3, bishop takes on g3, h takes on g3, knight on d to f6, knight to e5, knight to d6, f3, rook to e8, knight to e2, knight to d7, rook to h5, f6, knight takes on d7, bishop takes on d7, king to f2, f5, rook to e1, rook takes on e3, king takes on e3, queen to e8 with check, king to f2, queen takes on h5, queen to c5, queen to g6, queen to b6, queen to f6, queen to c7, bishop to e8, knight to f4, rook to c8. So if you look at this position, after 27 moves into the game, Magnus Carlsen is 1 point of material up. He's having a slight advantage of minus 0.9. So the right continuation here for Liem is, so here queen is being attacked by the rook. So the right move is to put the queen back to b6 and play safe game. But instead, he will try to play some fancy lines and he will go for sacrificing his queen, and he will play queen takes on rook on c8. And this is a mistake, and after this move, Carlsen is having a winning advantage of minus 3.1. This is one of the scenarios where queen sacrifice has gone wrong. Here Carlsen continues with knight takes on c8. Limley has given up a queen for a rook, and now he collects a bishop as well, and he continues with rook takes on e8 with check. And king, once the king moves to f7, he collects a knight as well. Rook takes on c8. And now if you count the material, Liam Lay has sacrificed the queen for 2 pieces. So material wise, position looks fine, but engine is liking Carlsen's position only. Let's see why. Carlsen continues with queen takes on d4 with check, and king moves to f1. And now the problem is that this bishop is being defended by the knight. So Carlsen can try and kick away this knight and take the material back. And he continues with g5, asking the knight to move. And in this position, Liam Lay cannot move the knight because his bishop will be hanging, hence the game. So he continues with a brilliant move, which is rook to f8 with check. No one is guarding the rook. And the problem is that if the Carlsen go and collect the rook, then what will happen? The game is completely lost for Magnus Carlsen. Then the move will be knight to e6, forking the king and the queen. And that game is over. So foreseeing this, Carlsen is smart enough to not fall into this trap, and he continues with king to e7, not capturing your rook now. And Liam Lay continues with knight to g6 with check, king to d6, bishop takes on f5. Now he saves the knight and he saves the bishop as well. Queen takes on b2, f4, queen takes on a3, king to f2, a5, knight to e5, a4, rook to f7, knight to b2 with check, king to f1, queen to b5 with check, bishop to d3, queen to b3, bishop to f5, a3, knight to d3. So if you look at this position, after 42 moves, Carlsen is completely winning the game with an advantage of minus 7.6. So the right continuation here for Magnus Carlsen is to push the c5 and push his other pass pawns and promote into a queen. But instead, here Magnus Carlsen, being Magnus Carlsen, the world #1 chess player of our generation, and he will sacrifice his queen for this knight and play queen takes on d3 with check, forcing the bishop to capture, and bishop takes on d3, and he pushes a2. And who is stopping this pawn now? There is no stopping for this pawn. And Liam Lay continues with rook takes on b7. Desperate attempt, but there is no stopping this pawn, and he gets a new queen and it comes with check. And Liam Lay moves to king to e2, and the queen moves to g1. And it was in this position, after 45 moves into the game, Liam Lay has resigned the game to Magnus Carlsen. And in the match between Vietnam and Norway, the game has ended in a draw 2-2, as Aryan Dari has lost his game. The reason for resignation is pretty much obvious. Carlsen is 2 points of material up and there is no counterplay. And the mage will be inevitable as well. King can try to escape by continuing like king to f3, but then will follow g4 with check. King takes on g4, queen to d1 with check. King to h4, queen takes on d3. The queen will goggle up all the material and it will be very difficult to defend this position. So for seeing this, Liem has resigned after queen to g1.